Okay, well, it's time to bake. As you can see, I have taken the dough out of the refrigerator and left it on the counter covered with plastic. Keep it from drying out, and it has doubled in size. It's been about 4 hours since I took it out of the refrigerator, and I am now going to start the process of baking. As you can see, the dough jiggles a little bit when I shake it just a little, like Jello. That tells me that it's ready to bake, and of course it has doubled in size as well. And 4 hours is usually the length of time it takes. Now I bake in a 6-quart cast iron Dutch oven. I have the kind that does not have a handle on the lid, so I can bake it by turning it upside down, and I can access the dough a little easier when I cut it. So I will get out my razor. I will preheat the oven. To 450 degrees. I have a gas range, but any oven would do. I bake at 450 degrees, and I will video that process. So while it's preheating, I will put the Dutch oven inside the oven to preheat. That way the Dutch oven is hot as well as the oven, so when I take it out, the process is allows the dough to have an oven spring, which gives it its rise, and also I'm able to cover the dough while it's baking, and that traps the moisture inside, which allows the sourdough loaf to have such a crispy crust. And that is part of the that is the good part. One of the good parts of sourdough bread is the crispy crust. So while this is preheating, I usually, after the oven preheats and I hear its alarm that tells me it's preheated, I usually let it go for another 10 minutes just to make sure that the cast iron is fully gotten to temperature, because sometimes the stove gets to 450 a little before the cast iron actually heats up to 450. So we'll be back when the oven is preheated to bake our first loaf.